Probably you've never thought that you, like me, are a designer. And design is not only about pretty pictures, but it's about solving problems. And we have to solve a lot of problems all the time. There are a lot of different types of designers. There are product designer who design cars and shoes, environmental designer who design living rooms, cities and buildings, and there are events designer who design wedding and parties. What you may not know is that there are experience designers, and I'm one of those. If I had a business card, what would be written on it is experience designer. But I work for software companies, so I don't have a business card. Usually I design websites and apps. But I've realized that a lot of what I apply about experience design can be applied to everyday lives. And actually that everyone is an experience designer. Have you ever invited a friend for dinner or organized a party? Well, so you can say that you are an experience designer. Experience seems like a very vague term, but I try to break it down into a formula. So this is how an experience looks like. There is someone that interacts with a product in a certain environment in order to reach a goal. A very basic experience is making a coffee. So there is someone that wants to make coffee, so interacts with a coffee machine in an environment, probably the kitchen. And the most important thing about the experience formula is that there's someone. So if we get rid of that person, what we're left with is only a coffee machine in a kitchen, and that's definitely not an experience. So who is that someone? We can design experiences for ourselves or for others, and these have different challenges. When we design experiences for ourselves, it means that we need to think that it's worthy to spend time to design something for us. An example could be, instead of eating something out of the fridge, we can just cook a nice dinner. Or instead of taking a quick shower, we can take a bath and light candles and enjoy some music. The challenge of designing something for someone else is to think with their head and to stand in their shoes. The good news is that we're already doing it. Every time we buy a present for someone, we're asking what this person may like. And what this person may like is probably different from what another person may like. So we can talk about bespoke experience. Experiences affect our emotions based on how pleasant or unpleasant it is to reach a goal. But some experiences are invisible. For example, I'm tired, I want to go to sleep, and nothing gets in the way of reaching my goal. But what if we change the environment? What if my neighbor throws a party and gets really loud? I wouldn't be able to sleep anymore, and I would probably become quite angry. What if we introduce another product, like earplugs? That would allow to balance again our experience, and I could probably start sleeping again. So in order to create a good experience, we can't target people's emotion. What we can change or tweak is the product or the environment. Let's say that if I am a restaurant owner. In order to create the best experience possible for my customer, I have to, of course, have good food, a cozy environment, but also the waiter needs to be polite and the bill should be fair, the restaurant should be clean. Even if just one of these things is off, probably my experience wouldn't be as good. So we have seen all the things that can go wrong, for example, in a restaurant, and that would make a poor experience. We have also seen when an experience is invisible, so nothing gets in our way and we can reach our goal basically without emotions. But what if we want to create an excellent experience? Well, this means that we need to do an extra mile. It requires a bit more work, and we need to learn to add delight, something unexpected. For example, Mark comes back to work every day at 5 p.m., and that's an invisible experience. But what if one day he comes back home with flowers? Would that make a better experience for his wife? Maybe. I hope I've convinced you that you are an experienced designer, and I hope now you want to try to build better experiences, because you're already building experiences for your friends, your family, your co-workers, and your customers. So if you want to create better experiences, you should know who you're designing for, you should learn to tweak the product and the environment, and you should try to add delight every time you can. So I think that life is a sequence of experiences, and you can design your life one experience at a time. Thank you.